That's right, in this video, I show you how you can get up to 10 credit lines instantly. And the best part is that some don't even do a credit check, and if they do, bad credit or no credit can still get it. I know this kind of sounds too good to be true, but stick around and I'll show you. What's up, winners? My name is Nam. If you're new here, welcome. Here we talk all things personal finance and credit, starting out by subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos. So in this video, I'll be using credit lines and trade lines interchangeably. If you're not familiar with what a trade line is a credit account that's listed on your credit report. So let's get right into it. The first one on the list will be Boom. So this is a company that has tools that allow landlords and renters to help build credit. They have a tool that allows renters to increase their credit score by reporting on-time rent payments to all three of the major credit bureaus. This allows you to report ongoing rent payments, past rent payments up to 24 months prior, or both. Rent is one of the largest monthly expenses that most people currently have, but see no credit benefit. Since this tool is not a loan or a revolving line of credit like a credit card, it gets reported on your credit as other. So what this means is that this does not impact your debt to income ratio or your utilization. So if you were to get your credit pulled by a lender, this should only benefit rather than harming your application. Now let's break down the cost because this is not free. To get started, you would have to pay a one-time $10 enrollment fee. This is required to cover any verification costs. If you wanted to just report ongoing payments, this will cost you $2 a month, but they would charge you for the whole year, which comes out to be around $24. Unfortunately, there's no way of just trying it out for a couple of months. If you want to report past payments, which I highly recommend, this will cost an extra $25. This is not an ongoing charge though, so just imagine as a one-time fee to get past payments reported. The great thing about Boom is that your landlord does not need to be involved. Also, there's no credit check, so your credit will not incur a hard inquiry. Now moving on to our second credit line, which will be EXPERIAN Boost. This feature is offered by EXPERIAN, which is one of the major credit bureaus back in 2018. The way this credit line works is by EXPERIAN taking a look at your bank account, and then they will analyze it to see if your utilities are eligible to be reported as payment history. Normally, utility companies do not report anything. The reason being is that reporting to the credit bureaus costs money and can be expensive. So that's why most of these companies do not do anything unless there are some sort of delinquencies, such as a late payment. It's odd to me that doing the right thing has no benefit to you, but whenever you mess up, they really want to mess you up. But luckily with EXPERIAN Boost, even if you were to have late payments with utilities, they will not report any missed payments. Only they will report your on-time payments. One thing to recognize about EXPERIAN Boost is that if you are applying for lines of credit such as a mortgage or a car, this may make it seem like you have debt rather than a paid utility bill. But usually this amount is small enough that the underwriter may not even care or affect your debt to income ratio. It is fairly easy to get started with this. All you would have to do is make an account through EXPERIAN.com. Then from there, you should just link your checking account. Then they will be able to find utility accounts such as a cell phone bill, internet, gas, water, or whatever is a recurring monthly basis should be able to make you qualify. From there, they would just calculate what's your new EXPERIAN credit score. You can opt out at any time or delete your account if you don't think it's beneficial or if you're thinking about applying for a large loan. So the biggest pro with this account is that it is 100% free and it can increase your EXPERIAN credit card. But the biggest con is that it only reports to one, so if your underwriter is pulling all three credit bureaus, it may or may not be a deal breaker. The next credit line that we will be talking about will be Grow Credit. Do you have a subscription service like Netflix, Hulu, or Spotify? If you do, you can build your credit absolutely for free. With Grow Credit, they report on-time subscription payments to all three major credit bureaus to help you establish or build credit. So the way this would work is by signing up through their website. During this process, you would link your bank account and then you would automatically get a virtual MasterCard. From there, you would just connect this MasterCard to your existing subscriptions or sign up for new ones. You would then repay Grow Credit using your linked bank account. Now, let's break down the pricing structure. There's one that's 100% free, but if you look at the very bottom, there's another one that's very similar that charges $199 per month. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but this one requires a security deposit of $17. There are other memberships that give you a higher limit of $600 and $1,800, meaning that you can have more subscriptions, which shows that you're paying more over time. But in my own personal opinion, I do not think that makes much of a difference. As long as you're paying on time without any lates, then you should be fine. So I'd definitely try the free one to see how it works for you. So before moving on, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Upstart. If you have multiple credit card balances each month and only paying the minimums, barely making a dent in your credit card debt, it can be discouraging. Upstart can help you pay off your existing debt quickly so you can feel like you're finally getting ahead. They know that you're more than just your credit score, so rather than just looking at your credit score alone, Upstart's model considers other factors such as your income, employment, and other information provided in your loan application to find a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in just 5 minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000. You can even receive funds as fast fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today by going to upstart.com/nom or clicking the link in the description below. That's upstart.com/nom. Don't forget to use my link to let them know that I sent you. Go to upstart.com/nom. Now moving on to our next company, which is Self. So with this company, they offer secure loans to help you build credit. Secure loans are also known as credit builder loans. The key difference between a credit builder loan and a traditional loan is that you don't get the money until you finish making every loan payment. With traditional loans, you would just get the money up front, then you would just have to pay back the money until the terms are met. With most credit builder loans, the financial company will typically open up a separate account, usually a savings account or a CD. The bank, credit union, or service provider will then report your monthly payments to 1 or 3 of the major credit bureaus such as TransUnion, EXPERIAN, or Equifax. Once the loan balance has been paid in full, the service provider will then unlock the savings account or CD and return that money that you put in minus the interest and admin fees. So with Self, there are some fees. Self will charge you an upfront admin fee and up to 15% interest and late fees. So whenever you visit Self's website, they give you several examples, but let's just focus on the smallest one. At $25 per month for 24 months, you would be paying $600 in total. After 24 months, you will receive $520. Since Self charges a $9 admin fee up front, this will bring your cost to a total of $89. With these type of financial products, they will help you build your installment lines of credit on your credit report. Generally, installment lines of credit have the most benefit to your credit score when they are open. So the smaller balances they will tend to have more of a positive impact. As installment lines of credit fall off your credit report, you may see a dip to your credit score. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that if you have any other installment lines of credit open, such as a student loan, car, or mortgage, signing up for a credit builder loan may not have that much of an impact to your credit. Now let's keep it moving with our next instant credit line, which is SEEDFI's Credit Builder Prime. This company is a competitor of Self that has a credit builder account as well, hence the name. But I honestly like this one better because there is no fixed term, it is flexible, and also 100% free. How this account is different is that you can continue to have this installment line of credit report to the credit bureaus as long as you continue to stay. So the example that they gave us on their website is that if you were to set aside $500 into a savings account, once you pay $500 back, this amount is unlocked, meaning that you can withdraw that $500 or continue to stay. As you keep saving your money, they will keep unlocking your account in $500 increments. So let's just say that you agreed to put $500 into your account and you pay back the $500. But you continue and now you have $700. You can take out that $500 at any time, but that $200 will still be locked until you reach $500. Again, as a reminder, if you already have an installment line of credit reporting to your credit already, then credit builders may not have that much value to your score. Now moving on to our next credit line, which will be the extra debit card. At first, you might be thinking how a debit card is gonna help me build credit. Actually, this is the first debit card that I know of that allows you to do so. The way this works is by connecting your bank account through Plaid, and then they will give you a spending limit based on your bank balance. This way, there's no credit check whatsoever. So generally, the more purchases that you make with Extra, the higher your spending power will most likely be. You would then swipe your Extra card like you normally would any other card, and then Extra would spot that purchase for you and automatically pay themselves back within the next business day. And at the end of the month, they will total up all of your transactions and report them to the credit bureaus as creditworthy payments. So at the making of this video, they currently only report to Equifax and EXPERIAN. They also said that you should start seeing your credit line reported by the 15th of the following month. So if you're not seeing it then you should definitely reach out and they should be able to help. One thing to make note of is that this service is not free and they will charge you on a monthly basis. The base fee is $7 per month, and if you want to earn up to 1% on all of your transactions, then it'll cost $12 a month. The next trade line we will be talking about will be called Kickoff. This one is a little bit different from the previous ones mentioned because it is a revolving line of credit and also an installment line of credit. If you are not familiar what a revolving line of credit is, then just think about a credit card. You get access to a certain amount of money. Once you pay that balance back, then you will get access to the full credit limit once again. To get started with Kickoff, there is no credit check. Now, how this trade line reports to the credit bureaus is by you buying something from their store, which starts at $10 and pay it off on a monthly basis. The minimum payment is $2 and it makes it pretty easy for any budget. Kickoff says that there is a 12-month membership, which is renewed annually. I'm not really sure what they mean by this, but I think that you have to buy something within 12 months just to keep your account open. Since this is a revolving line of credit, the lower your utilization rate, the better. Since everything offered on Kickoff does not really cost that much and you have a credit limit of $500, this can be very beneficial to your credit. They also offer a credit builder loan option for people who qualify. I'm not really sure what this all entails, but I imagine being a client and making a certain amount of payments on time before you get an offer. Now, moving on to which credit bureaus that they report to, they say that they report to all 3 credit bureaus, but there is a caveat. If you just got the regular kickoff account, which is the revolving line of credit, this only reports to Equifax and Experian. But if you were to get the credit builder loan, which is optional, it only reports to TransUnion and Equifax. So if you wanted them to report to all 3 credit bureaus, then you would have to have both accounts. Now the next credit line that we will be talking about will be the Applied Bank Secure Visa Gold Preferred Credit Card. Now this is like a traditional secure credit card. So if you're not aware, usually this is a line of credit where you would have to place a security deposit. So if you were to put down $500, this will mean that you have a $500 credit limit that you can use for expenses. Depending on your lender, sometimes they can graduate you to a different card and give back your deposit, or whenever you close your account. The key difference with this card compared to most is that you are guaranteed to get approved. There is no minimum credit score for this card. So if you are an individual with no credit, multiple delinquencies, or bankruptcy, you can get approved. They do have a low APR, which hovers around 10%, but one thing that you have to know is their fees. Because when you attempt to go onto their website, it doesn't show you anything besides that anyone can get approved. But if you were to look at the terms and conditions, there is an annual fee of $48. So if you were to initially deposit $500, your credit limit will show only $452 since the annual fee is automatically deducted. It's not the best choice for secure cards, but if you are struggling to get lines of credit, this will probably be the easiest route. The next instant trade line will be store credit cards. You probably can get a lot of these credit cards as you would like, but the only downside with store credit cards is that you can only use these at these particular stores. There is this trick called the shopping cart trick. So in a nutshell, you would want to find a store card, preferably that comes from Commodity Bank, Synchrony Bank, or Wells Fargo. With this particular strategy, it is very possible to avoid hard inquiries getting one of these cards. But again, you have to do it at your own risk because there are some people reporting having a hard inquiry, but there are also plenty more who had none. I have made a video on this particular topic before, which you can find up here, but in a nutshell, you need to opt in for pre-approved offers. If you are not sure if you're opt-in or opt-out, just head over to optoutprescreen.com. Next is to make sure that you disable your pop-up blockers and then join the store's loyalty program. For example, Victoria's Secret is a very popular store credit card that a lot of people report having success with. Now, you want to start your shopping process in a private browser. Then you would shop for things that you normally would. Let's just say that you want to buy pajamas or something like that, then just add it to your cart. There tends to be much more success when you spend more than $100 on merchandise. So during the checkout process, this is when you start filling out your billing information as you were to buy those items. Before you input your payment information, you should receive a pop-up offer stating that you've been pre-approved to apply for a store credit card. If you were asked to provide your full social at any point, then the application may run a hard credit check. If they only require your last 4, those are the ones that you should aim for. At this point, you can go ahead and purchase the items or not because you already got approved for the store credit card. But if this trick does not work, then you may have to try again at a later time, clear your browser history or cache, or just try with a different store. Now moving on to the next credit line, which will be the TOMO credit card. This is one of the credit lines on the list that you can use as a traditional credit card. Even though this is labeled as a credit card, it acts more like a charge card, meaning that you cannot maintain a balance on this card. It is fairly easy to get approved for this card due to the fact that they do not take a look at your credit history and they only require you to link your bank account so they can see your transactions. Based on your transactions, this is how they would calculate your credit limit. You can get a credit limit up to $10,000 and you also get 1% cash back on all of your purchases. One of the downsides with this credit card is that the customer service may be kind of lacking, and I've read many individuals waiting for months before it gets reported to the credit bureaus. This also happened to me when I applied last year. But if you do not see anything report after a few months, then I will go ahead and try to contact their customer service team to see what is the problem. So there you guys have it. In today's video, about your 10 credit lines that you can get right away. Which one are you willing to try first? Are you gonna go with Grow Credit, where you can report your subscription services such as Netflix, or go for the traditional route such as TOMO? Let me know in the comments. Again, I would like to thank Upstart for sponsoring today's video. If you want to learn more about credit and how to build better credit, check out these videos over here.